Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is your Geek Out for Friday, July 20th, 2012. T-Mobile's new Samsung Galaxy S3 has been my faithful companion in my pocket with me for the past few weeks, and one of you won one of these yesterday, because I noticed you left a comment in the comment thread from yesterday's Geek Out, playing Spin to Win. You know that link that we put in this video's description? One of you got one of these! Awesome! Who's gonna win one today? Only one way to find out. Spin to win. How to lose weight by running from zombies? Zombies Run is a cross-platform app that takes you through an audio story while you're out walking, jogging, or working out on the treadmill. The idea is to distract your brain long enough so that you can work out without feeling like you're working out. Instead, you're, working with zombies, which I never thought would be interesting to do, but apparently it could work real well. I know that when I'm in the process of working out, it can be kind of a drag. Even when I'm walking outside, my mind tends to wander, and I keep thinking, well, how long is this going to take? How long is this going to take? So the more distraction, I guess, the better. That means the more calories you can burn, which means more bacon you can eat at the end of the day. Well, I don't think zombies eat bacon. They eat brains. Bacon-flavored brains, maybe? Just how good is an $89 7-inch Android 4.0 tablet computer? In case you wanted to know, we've got the scoop. And the bottom line is, hey, it's not bad. You spend less than $100 and you get something that, well, I would say most people would be able to use. And by use, browse the web, check email, play a couple of games, download a few different apps. And it's not going to cost that much money. I mean, if you thought $200 wasn't much to pay for a tablet computer, what about less than $100? That's the experience that Ron shares on Locker Gnome today. Have you purchased an Android tablet for under $100, and was it a good experience or a bad experience? The Toyota Prius C delivers bang for the buck. That's good news, as reviewed by Dan Gray on Locker Gnome today. And the reason why is because that's what Diana drives. She likes the car. She was expecting, I guess, some different features in the car, was expecting more from a newer car, but it's suited her just well. It's compact, offers, in-dash navigation. We ended up opting for that package. We're leasing it at this point in time, so we'll turn it over and probably get a new car in another 3 years. I'm just a big fan of leasing. I'm also a big fan of saving money at the pump, and I don't think we've filled it up more than once or twice in the time that we've been leasing it. Any other proud Prius owners out there? And before you start making fun of us, you're not paying our bills. So if you want to start paying our bills, fine, then you can say whatever you want. Until then, shut up. What could Sparrow's acquisition mean for Gmail? In case you didn't catch the news, it was all over Twitter and Google Plus and Facebook this morning. An application that is known to some of us, those who use OS X and iOS, something called Sparrow makes it easier for us to interact with our Gmail account instead of using Gmail's web application, which I gotta tell you, I've never been a fan of Gmail's UI. Even after it's evolved over the years, to me it's still bleh. So Sparrow made it easier to interact with people still using Gmail. Google's acquired them. I think this is a wise move. Google's needed a better desktop experience, at least for those who use OS X. And of course, who wouldn't argue against a foothold in a competitor's platform? I think Google probably has more apps for iOS than Apple has for Android. How many apps does Apple have for Android anyway? Bottom line, Sparrow's not going to be updated anymore, and that team is now been sucked into Gmail. And that was the sound that was made when it happened, too. I have it on good authority. Here's the thinking piece today. Did the Watchmen save humanity? Now, I have to admit, I never heard of the Watchmen. I'm not a huge comic book geek, although I do like comic books. I enjoy them, and graphic novels as well, and I believe there is a difference between the two. But I really liked the movie. The visuals were stunning, the storyline was great, and of course the characters were, well, I can't really say out of this world, unless of course you're talking about Dr. Manhattan, in which case he kind of was out of this world. In fact, that's the thumbnail image we used on lackergnome.com in the article. That's me. It's Dr. Manhattan. Although you didn't really see anything below that line. Thank goodness. And noted in the article, in Watchmen, we learn of a fine line between not caring and cruel indifference. Expressing bad feelings is still better than showing no feelings at all. Indifference isn't good, and no action based on some type of feeling is probably even worse. There's one thing you learn, especially when you put yourself out there, online, producing content like I'm doing right now, or that we do on lackergnome.com. You don't want people in the middle. You want them on one extreme or another. You want them to either hate you or love you. Hopefully more people love you than hate you, but at least if they hate you, they're expressing some kind of emotion. When they're in the middle, that's bad. I mean, we want to know that you love the things that we do for you, so you can tell us. I mean, we already know that people who hate us are going to say that they hate us, but I hate to tell the haters, but they're still giving us attention. If you really want to hate us, be ambivalent. I will not pass judgment if you had to look up the definition of that word. Did you see the vlog where I got sick after smoking a cigar? Yeah, it wasn't all that funny, but it was uploaded earlier today. Oh, here's a website you may want to look into. Rethink Digg. Of course, Digg being D-I-G-G, a site that was launched by Kevin Rose a few years ago and then recently, well, at least part of it sold for about $500,000. BetaWorks, the company that acquired certain assets from Digg, is going to be relaunching Digg in about 6 weeks, and you might be a part of it. And all you need to do to find out more is head over to rethinkdigg.com. I think there's a chance Digg could rise from the ashes. It's possible. Who's to say that they're already out of the race, especially if they're going to be reinventing themselves? I'll give it a shot. Why not? You can test the Firefox mobile OS from your desktop. Did you know that Firefox had a mobile OS? You can try it, and you don't have to worry about putting it on any one of your devices. You could try it from a desktop. Oh, that's a great screensaver. Did you know that Electric Sheep is available cross-platform and on Android? Okay, sorry. Firefox mobile OS on the desktop. Cool. You running Android on one of your devices? Check out Friday.com. That's the word Friday and plus ED. And with it, you can, well, basically allow your device to complete your life through self-discovery. Use it as a journal to get answers or provide analytics about the stuff that you're already doing. And look at that. You can get Friday for Android today, which also happens to be a Friday. And before you guys start screaming at me, Chris, you never talk about iOS anymore. Really? I don't? No, not at all? No, you always talk about iOS. Really? This is an app that's only available for Android. Oh, you're such a fanboy. Wait a minute. I'm talking about Android on an iOS device. Dude, if your head doesn't explode now, there's something wrong with you. LockerGnome.net user Lacobus writes, do you prefer WordPress.org or .com? Well, if I was just setting up a quick blog, WordPress.com would suffice. If I was looking for a stellar WordPress web host, I don't know if I would go with WordPress.com. They're not the most affordable on the block. Then, if I wanted to install WordPress on my own domain, on my own web host, I would have to use WordPress.org. They're the same thing, but really for different uses. There's not one that's better or the other. You can't prefer one over the other. You really... apples and oranges, even if we're talking about the same banana. YouTube user Bamage1 writes, I'm short on money and saving for a Mac. Should I get the cheapest MacBook Air and use a USB external hard drive, or buy a Mac with a big hard drive? Well, if you're short on money and saving for a Mac, this is his story. You don't say, you should buy a PC. That's not what he's asking for, dude. He says he's saving money to buy a Mac. Respect his decisions, unless, of course, you're going to put up money for him to do what he wants to do. It's his life. Let him live it. I'm just answering his question, okay? Getting the cheapest MacBook Air may be the way to go. I mean, especially if you're looking for something that's portable, starting at about $1,000. I mean, the MacBook Air is no slouch if you want to start with a Mac, and if you are running low on funds. That's the best answer that I could provide for you, or possibly even buy a refurb. LockerGnome.net user Bob Popo23 asks, if money were no object, what kind of technology would you get? A transporter. Because if money were no object, then of course anything would be possible. Therefore, I would be able to buy a transporter with my money that I will never see. YouTube viewer Lazy Builder 2 writes, does it ever not rain in Seattle? Yeah, it not rains all the time. Today is a bad example of it not raining, but it not rained. Well, no, I guess it did not rain yesterday. It not rained yesterday. But you didn't see that yet, because that vlog won't be uploaded until tomorrow. I know you're all confused with the time thing, and I'm sorry. If you forget to like this video, I'm eating your brains. Well, you later. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this